The process of life starts well before a baby takes its first breath. An amazing transformation occurs inside the womb, turning a small group of cells into a fully developed human being. The womb is the first home of every human being, where we spend about 9 months of our life before entering the world. During this time, unborn babies are not just passive and helpless, but they are active and capable of doing amazing things that prepare them for their birth and beyond. Although this prenatal development journey is extraordinary, many are unaware of unborn babies' remarkable abilities and behaviors before entering the world. Today, we will look at the awe-inspiring capabilities of unborn babies, revealing the hidden wonders that take place during those precious 9 months in the womb. 10. Hearing and recognizing voices. Contrary to popular belief, the womb is not a silent world. Long before their ears are fully developed, unborn babies can perceive sounds from the outside world, particularly their parents' voices. As early as 16 weeks into pregnancy, fetuses can detect sounds, and by 25 weeks, they can differentiate between voices and respond differently to familiar and unfamiliar tones. The baby's most familiar and comforting sound is the mother's heartbeat, which can be heard as a constant and rhythmic background noise. The baby can also hear the mother's voice, breathing, digestive noises, and other sounds from the outside world, such as music, traffic, or conversations. Hearing helps the baby to bond with the mother and to learn the patterns and rhythms of the language they speak. Many mothers report their babies becoming more active or settling in response to their voices, indicating a strong prenatal bond and recognition. This early auditory experience promotes language development and lays the foundation for the deep emotional connections that will form after birth. 9. Developing a sense of taste. While it may seem counterintuitive, unborn babies can experience flavors from their mother's foods. The amniotic fluid surrounding the fetus is infused with the flavors of the mother's diet, allowing the baby to sample a wide range of tastes before birth. Researchers have found that babies born to mothers who consumed specific flavors, such as garlic or anise, prefer those flavors after birth, suggesting that prenatal taste experiences shape their future dietary preferences and may even encourage them to accept a more diverse range of foods. Researchers believe this is nature's way of preparing the baby for the flavors of the food they are likely to eat when they enter the world. From as early as 15 weeks, unborn babies can show a preference for sweet flavors by swallowing more amniotic fluid when it is sweet and less when it is bitter. Tasting also helps develop the sense of smell, which is closely linked to the sense of taste. 8. Feeling the beat, responding to music and sound. Not only can unborn babies hear sounds, but they also respond to them remarkably. Studies have shown that fetuses as young as 16 weeks can react to music and rhythmic patterns with increased movement and changes in heart rate. Exposure to music during pregnancy has been linked to improved hearing development, language learning, and even enhanced brain maturity. Some experts suggest that playing calming or classical music can be soothing to fetuses, leading to lower stress levels and improved sleep patterns after birth. Additionally, researchers have pointed out that babies can synchronize with their moms. There's a fascinating connection between mother and baby in the womb. The mother's hormones not only influence the baby's development, but also their emotional state. Studies suggest that babies can be affected by the mother's stress levels and music choices, and even respond positively to her voice and touch. This prenatal bonding lays the foundation for a strong emotional connection after birth. 7. Establishing sleeping and waking patterns. While it may seem like a paradox, unborn babies develop distinct sleeping and waking patterns well before birth. As early as 20 weeks into gestation, fetuses exhibit periods of activity and rest, with their movements and heart rates fluctuating accordingly. By the 3rd trimester, these patterns become more pronounced, with babies engaging in periods of rapid eye movement, REM, sleep, similar to the sleep cycles of newborns. This prenatal establishment of circadian rhythms helps babies adapt to the external world more easily, and may even shape their future sleep habits and personality traits. Dreaming is another fascinating ability that unborn babies have in the womb. Although it is impossible to know what unborn babies dream about, Researchers have found evidence that they experience rapid eye movement, REM, sleep, which is the stage of sleep when most dreaming occurs. REM sleep usually happens around the 23rd week of pregnancy, and it increases as the baby grows. Dreaming is believed to be a way of processing and consolidating the information and experiences the baby encounters in the womb, and stimulating and developing the brain and the nervous system. 6. Developing unique personalities and temperaments. Even before they take their first breath, unborn babies exhibit distinct personalities and temperaments that can be observed through their movements, responses to stimuli, and facial expressions. Some fetuses are more active and responsive, while others are more laid back and calm. These individual differences are believed to be influenced by a combination of genetic factors, hormonal influences, and the intrauterine environment. This is also when babies build immunity, which gives them a head start on fighting off illness. The womb isn't a sterile environment. Antibodies from the mother pass through the placenta, giving the baby a head start on building their immune system. This early exposure helps protect them from infections and illnesses after birth. It's a crucial first step in preparing their bodies for the challenges of the outside world. 5. Sucking and swallowing. One of the most remarkable abilities that unborn babies demonstrate is their instinctive capacity for sucking and swallowing. As early as 15 weeks into gestation, fetuses can be observed on ultrasound sucking their thumbs or fingers, a behavior that not only provides comfort, but also helps strengthen the muscles needed for feeding after birth. Additionally, unborn babies regularly swallow amniotic fluid. This process aids in developing their digestive system and prepares them for the critical task of ingesting nourishment once they enter the world. It's this nourishment that forms the baby's first poop, known as meconium. Meconium is a concoction of hair, proteins, bile, and more. It forms as the baby swallows amniotic fluid, with production accelerating as the fetus matures. Also, babies can cry while in the womb, but they do so silently. Recent studies have observed ultrasounds during the third trimester, which revealed that fetuses can exhibit crying behaviors in response to low decibel noises. They may press their tongues, breathe irregularly, and open their mouths, displaying a silent expression of emotion. 4. Breathing movements. While unborn babies do not actively breathe air in the womb, they practice breathing movements that mimic the respiratory patterns they need after birth. These movements, which involve the expansion and contraction of the chest and diaphragm, are essential for preparing the lungs and respiratory muscles for their vital function. Moreover, these prenatal breathing exercises help regulate the flow of amniotic fluid, ensuring adequate oxygen and nutrient exchange between the mother and the developing fetus. One of the most remarkable aspects of fetal development is the rapid growth and formation of connections in the brain. Brain cells' neurons multiply rapidly, and trillions of connections, synapses, are formed. While the concept of consciousness in the womb is complex and debated, studies suggest that unborn babies exhibit brainwave activity as early as the first trimester. This activity increases in complexity as the brain develops, potentially laying the groundwork for future learning, cognition, and emotional responses. 3. Grasping and kicking. One of the most common and noticeable abilities that unborn babies have in the womb is moving. As they grow and develop, they start to kick, stretch, and roll around. The mother often feels this movement as quickening. From as early as 8 weeks into pregnancy, unborn babies can be observed on ultrasound, clenching their tiny fists and moving their arms and legs in coordinated motions. These movements are not only a sign of life and health, but also a way of exercising, strengthening the muscles and bones, and exploring and interacting with the environment. Unborn babies can also respond to touch and sometimes even play with their umbilical cord or their own body parts, such as sucking their thumb or grabbing their feet. As the pregnancy progresses, fetuses become more adept at grasping objects with their hands and feet. This behavior not only aids in their physical development, but also serves as a precursor to the instinctive grasping response seen in newborns. 2. Preparing for the journey. As the due date approaches, unborn babies begin to position themselves for the birthing process, often assuming the head-down position in preparation for labor and delivery. This innate ability to navigate the birth canal is a testament to babies' remarkable instincts and survival skills before they ever leave the womb. Babies actively participate in the birthing process during labor by responding to the contractions and navigating through the narrow passage. Their skulls are designed to temporarily change shape, allowing them to pass through the birth canal more easily, and their bodies are primed to transition from the womb's watery environment to the world outside. 1. Bonding and attachment. Did you know that a baby's heart starts beating around the 6th week of pregnancy? It's a tiny milestone, but it's already beating approximately 160 times per minute by the 8th week. Expectant mothers and fathers can experience this heartwarming and emotional moment by using an ultrasound device to listen to the baby's heartbeat. Even before birth, unborn babies develop emotional bonds and attachments with their parents. Through constant exposure to their mother's voice, heartbeat, and movements, fetuses become attuned to the unique sounds, smells, and sensations that will shape their earliest connections. This prenatal bonding experience facilitates the attachment process after birth, promoting secure and healthy relationships between infants and their caregivers. The power of these early connections highlights the profound impact of the in utero experience on a baby's future emotional and social development. The journey inside the womb is a remarkable one. Unborn babies are not simply passive passengers, but active participants in their development. The womb is not just a place of waiting and growing, but a place of amazing activity and capability. Unborn babies can do amazing things in the womb. These amazing things are signs of life, health, and expressions of personality and potential. As parents, understanding these nuances can deepen the connection with your unborn child. So cherish these moments, be mindful of the environment, and revel in life's marvels.